All right, this is a review for the quiz on the first two lessons on similarity. For numbers 1 through 4, determine whether or not the two triangles are similar. If they are, write a similarity statement and state which postulate or theorem you used to conclude that they are similar. So let's go over the three possibilities, okay, the three shortcuts, okay? Actually, don't let me redo that. Let's go over the similarity shortcuts right here. There's three of them, okay? There is side similarity. Actually, no, let's go in order. First, we did angle similarity, okay? Then there was side similarity. And then finally, there was side similarity. Okay, so these are the three shortcuts that we did for this unit. Angle similarity, side similarity, and side similarity. Okay, want to see if we have these for these problems. Okay, so number one, we have this triangle right here. This is 90 degrees. That's 43 degrees. We know that all the angles in the triangle add up to 180. So let's find out what the measure of angle C is. Okay, all the angles add to 180. So that means that angle C, the measure of angle C, has to be 47 degrees. And let me just finish this up. Let's get the measure of angle D also. The measure of angle D has to be 43 degrees. So all the angles in that triangle add up to 180. And you'll see we do have angle similarity. All you need to know is that two of the angles are congruent, and that's sufficient. Okay? And we do have that. So this one's going to be yes. So I'm going to say triangle ABC is similar to triangle, I have to go in order, okay? A corresponds to D because they're each 43 degrees. So if A is first, then I'm going to put D first. B is 90 degrees. That corresponds to E because E is also 90 degrees. And C is 47 degrees. That's third. That corresponds to F, which is 47 degrees. So triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF by angle similarity. Number two, are the two triangles similar? So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to compare the two smallest sides in each triangle. Let's compare the 2 with the 3, comparing the two smallest sides in each triangle. I cannot simplify 2 over 3 anymore. I'll leave it like that. Now let's compare the two medium sides, which is the 3 and the 4.5. And this 3 and that 3 is the same, and this 4.5 and that 4.5 is the same. So all I have to do is compare these two. And that might be a little tricky, but if I multiply each of those numbers by 2, it gives me the following. It gives me 6 over 9. And now if I divide each of these by the common factor of 3, it gives me 2/3. So you can see 2/3 over here and 2/3 over here. So these two triangles are going to be similar by side similarity. So I'll say triangle PRQ. So I did the smallest side first, PRQ, PRQ, PRQ. I'll do the same thing here. I'll do the smallest side first, SUT, SUT. By side similarity. Number 3, let's label the vertical angles being congruent. Okay, label the vertical angles being congruent. And now let's compare. Let's compare the smaller of these two numbers with the smaller of these two numbers. So let's compare the 12 with the 16. Divide each one by the common factor of 4. and you get 3/4. Then let's compare the bigger of these two numbers with the bigger of these two numbers. Let's compare the 15 with the 20. Divide them each by the common factor of 5, and we get 3/4. So you'll see that these two triangles are similar by side, angle, side similarity. So I'll say triangle TXU. Look at the order I'm going in. I do the smaller side, then the bigger one. Smaller, then bigger. Have to go in the same order here. Smaller than bigger. Smaller than bigger. VXW. By side, angle, side similarity. Number 4, let's label the vertical angles being congruent. And let's compare the smaller side out of these two with the smaller side from this triangle. Okay, so the smaller side from the top triangle will be 2. Compare with the smaller side from the bottom triangle of 6. That simplifies to 1/3. And then let's compare the bigger side from the top triangle with the bigger side from the bottom triangle. So let's compare the 4 with the 12. Simplify that to 1/3. So since these two are proportional, I'm going to say yes, triangle QRP is similar to triangle. Go in the same order. Look, QRP, smaller than bigger, smaller than bigger, smaller than bigger in the bottom one, smaller than bigger. TRS, by side, angle, side similarity. Okay, on the back, solve for the indicated variable, numbers 5 through 7. Okay, so again, whenever you do these problems, make sure all your numerators come from one triangle and make sure all your denominators come from the other triangle. I've said that a lot. Make sure all your numerators come from one triangle and make sure all your denominators come from the other triangle. So I'm going to do 4. Let me start with 5. I'll do 5 over x because 5 corresponds to x. The 5 corresponds to the x, and the 4 corresponds to the 8. So 5 over x equals 4 over 8. Solve that for x. Cross multiply. 4 times x equals 40. 5 times 8 is 40, so x equals 10. Okay, here we go. Again, make sure all your numerators come from one triangle and make sure all your denominators come from the other triangle. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to do 3 over 6 equals. I'll do equals x over this entire side, which is going to be represented by the expression x plus 4. Solve that for x. Cross multiply. 6 times x equals 3 times x plus 4. 6 times x equals 3x plus 12 when you distribute. Subtract 3x on each side. 3x equals 12, x equals 4. One more. Okay. So again, the reason why this is similar is because these lines are parallel. So it means this angle is corresponding angle with this angle. And this angle up top is in common to both triangles. So we have angle-angle similarity. Same thing with this last one. Angle A was in common to both. So we had angle-angle similarity. So for my proportion, I'll do this. Let's start with x. I'm going to do x over this entire side, x plus 5. x over x plus 5 equals 12 over this entire side of 24. Cross multiply 24x equals 12 times x plus 5. 24x equals 12x plus 60. When you distribute, subtract 12x on each side. 12x equals 60, x equals 5. This question also asked you to solve for y, so I'm going to do y over 28 equals 12 over this entire side of 24. Cross multiply, 24y equals 12 times 28. 12 times 28 is 336, so 24y equals 336. And then that should give you y equals 14. So setting up the original proportions in those could be hard. Okay, but again, make sure all your numerators come from one triangle and make sure all your denominators come from the other triangle. And you also have to make sure you know the 3 similarity shortcuts. Okay, and that is the end to the quiz review on similarity. I hope that was helpful.